Today's class is a dancer cross training focusing on building endurance. So clear your space, have water nearby. We'll be using a yoga mat and a block and a strap. You're welcome to use books or couch cushions, pillows, and a hand towel or a scarf will work as a strap as well. I'll be barefoot. You can wear shoes, ballet shoes, athletic shoes, whatever helps you to feel grounded. And let's begin. Take a deep breath in. Plant yourself on your mat with your feet a little wider than hips width and just treading. Our work today in building endurance is about the large muscles, the backside, the glutes, and how they help to inform your posture, and how standing on one leg can help to develop stability in the ankle, flexibility, a sense of humor, even as we work with balance. So shifting the weight and stretching the lungs right and left, peeling the arms out to the side, and picking up the feet as though you were standing on a sticky mat. Yeah, we're stepping through a sticky substance. Right? It's honey as we move through the sweetness of the weight shift, the reach, this massage from the inside out that our cross training is. Let's reach up higher on the diagonal with the palms facing out toward me when you peel up and out, building some warmth as you shift side to side. Now come back to the middle and let's squat back, sitting back as if in a large chair, still a wide stride. Reach the arms forward and then pull in and gather the shoulder blades together in the back. Inhale, reach forward, hinging at the hips. Exhale, give a slight squeeze at the top when you come to stand tall. Right, so the backside, the glutes actually help us stand tall. These are good postural muscles that maybe you don't think about all the time. So today we're gonna feel what it's like to wake those up. Inhale, one more, exhale. Now reach up and over with your right arm and then sway side to side. So as if you're falling overboard and then shifting back. So you test your balance without testing your mood or your nerves. So right when you feel like, oh, I need to bring myself back to center, feel the core support and the standing leg helping to pull you back towards the center. Good, come back to the middle, let's squat it back, reach forward, and then shoulder blades together. Inhale, thumbs up, and then palms up. One more. Pause here. Now we're gonna shift and reach with the left arm and let it sway. And if this is, higher than your body or your shoulder wants to go, you can always do this with the bent arm. Yeah, it's more about how we're moving off center and then righting your world, coming back. All right, so let yourself be playful here. And perhaps you have a chair or a wall nearby to help steady you. Good, one more. Come back to the middle, reach forward, squat back, palms up, shoulder blades gather. Good, squeeze when you come to stand tall. Last one, right here, right arm's gonna reach up. And now just tap the right leg, toe like in the sand here, and then flex the foot and bend the elbow. So standing leg can have some forgiveness. If you need, use the support of a chair or a wall, and then tap out, flex the foot, curling the hamstring, the back of the leg, heel to hip, right? So the heel toward the glute, towards the sits bones. Start to wake up the front of the leg, which tends to get tight, when we sit a lot. And we're trying to wake up the blind spots in the back of the body that help us to stretch the quad and waken the glutes up to stabilize. One more. Back to the center. If you need, set yourself at the wall for the second side. I'm gonna try my luck and test my balance. We'll see how it goes, right? Inhale, reach up, and then flex the foot. You're gonna curl the leg behind you. Standing leg is supple. It's got the ability to move, to release, to bend and straighten. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Good. Notice what you're bracing yourself for and trust that you got this. And we're simply testing our balance. Wake up the backside, connect with the core. I can do that. Yeah, there it is. One more. I hope I get it together. And then come back to the center. Give yourself a little applause break, yeah? And then reach out, squat, and pull in. Reach out and in. One more. Sort of our home base there. Now we'll squat, sitting into the right leg and pull the left heel toward your hip. Reach forward and back. So it's a squat through the center and then strong lifted feeling as you bend the knee any amount. Don't force it. Only go as low as feels good in your body. And then the music's changing, so maybe you can change your attitude. Meet the music. Feel the rhythm coming up through your bones. Now stay with this. So hamstring curls, sort of old school. Yeah, now reach up. And we're gonna bend, reach. Pulling down and squatting hips back. Navel in. Crossing the arms at the top if that feels okay. You can always take it in front. Open out. And then take it to the top again. If you need to stay center, no problem. Keep smiling. I hope. Come back to the middle. Reach forward and gather all the good things. You bring all the good things into your center. Good. Rest in the middle. Now reach out with the right. Take that toe tap. Bend the knee. Send it back out. And then squat down through the center. Reach up and over left arm. Flex the foot. Little side bends. Working the lungs down through the middle. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, squat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Sit it down. Inhale. Curl. Keep reaching. Feel the side stretch. Here we go, a little deeper. Side and curl. Side, center. Side, curl. Side, center. The arm has a little swing to it. And you're checking in with the opposite foot there. Center, one more each side. Reach. And squat. Henry is tired. Back to center. Now let's take a big reach up and over. Arm circles. Just changing the weight. Other direction. Go as low as makes sense in your body. Turning the legs out slightly. Now from here, turn the toes out. Fingertips forward or fingertips toward the knees as it feels better for you. Right shoulder, center, left shoulder. So we're building that endurance in the lower body, building the strength from the ground up. Come back to the middle. Take the arms out. If you need, have some support, chair or the wall. Hands to the hips could work. And then lift left heel, lower. Right heel, lower. Alternate side to side, going slightly deeper each time. Again, you might want to take the arms out, thumbs up. Maybe the arms up. Maybe you're reaching and kind of walking it out here. Oh, or slow it down as you need. Yeah, it's one way to go places. Reach across. Now, if this is too much on the legs, it's a lot. come back to center. Plie, just pulse. Feel as though you're pulling the heels together. Keep pulsing, reach the arms up, and then pulse it back down. Squeeze at the bottom of the leg. Inhale. Right down at the tail, try to pull in, pull up at the base of the pelvis. And then gently release. Woo! Come back to center, heel toe, the feet. Now bring yourself to the support of a chair or a wall for standing balance, drawing the weight shift to the left leg, and then bring the right knee in. Now you could use your hand to help this along the way without locking out the standing leg, and you're welcome to take a break as needed. But could you start to stir the hip in the socket? Turn the leg in, out, around, and down. And then try the other direction. Gather in, scoop it out. Now, thinking a lot about the working leg, but the standing leg is getting a lot of love too as you come back to center. Stretch the leg up and back. Flex and point. Good. Now rest. Shift the weight to the other leg. Give yourself a round of applause here, and you can say thank you to the standing leg and sort of pat it out. Let's try the second side. I'm gonna step back and use, maybe I don't need, I'm gonna try my luck. Here we go. Lift and shift. Use support under your right hand if you need. Flex the foot, draw the knee in. Again, you can use your hand. Sometimes helpful. It's always helpful to have a furry friend here. But maybe using your hand on your hips. Take it up, out, around. Standing leg is playful. Yeah, it's supporting you without locking out, and then switch the direction. Massaging your low back, activating your core, and building the synovial fluid, that lubrication in the hip socket, in the hip joint. Nicely done. Send the leg out, flexed. Point it back, and flex, and point. One more. And rest. Shift the weight to the other side. And again, a little applause break. Massaging the outer hip. And then you can even sort of swing side to side, figure eight the hips. And backstroke. And that helps release the hips from the standing work as well. It's like our reward system. It's a little groovy moment. Bring yourself back to center. Now, use your chair or your wall, left hand, right knee lifts. We're gonna step back into a lunge, but not, straight up and down lunge, more of a lean here on the diagonal. And then pendulum, right, or it's like a little seesaw. You're gonna shift the heart up and the knee in. Kick back, hug the inner thighs together, swing the leg through. Again, let's try one more. Standing leg, woo, says thank you. Now let's take a groovy dance break before the other side. So using the wall as you need, or your chair. Now, right leg's your standing leg, left leg comes in, pull the navel into pull up, and then step back into that diagonal lunge, then scoop the energy up, and step back, diagonal lunge, right? So the head and the tail staying in a long straight line. Awesome. I think that's the last one. Woo! And then dance out your standing leg. Let's take it to the floor. Inhale, come to the top of your mat, reach the arms out. Bring the hands to your heart. Hands to your hips, bend your knees, sit back towards a squat. Fingertips to the floor. Use a chair if you need a little more height, and then step one leg back. We just did a lunge. Now we're gonna own it, and then come onto hands and knees. Sit off to your side, and then we'll come onto our belly here. So if you want to side lie before you flip over, might feel good. And then the same work of curling the heel toward the hip, we'll explore on our bellies. If it doesn't feel comfortable to lie flat on your belly, you could always put a pillow underneath your hips and your ribs. So from here, if you want to check the first one out and then come on into it, we'll do this with our heads down and your forehead stacked on your hands, like so. And then once you get there, the left leg will bend and we'll pulse the left leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then send it long. Take a breath. On your exhale, pull your belly button in and away from the floor. And then bend the right leg. And then lift the thigh as much as you can. You may not even be able to see it. It may be the smallest activation, but a little goes a long way. And then release the leg long. Now see if you can bend both legs perhaps, if it feels better to do one at a time. Honor your body. Or both legs. Forehead down. I'm just keeping mine up to be with you, but you can rest your forehead. And then, as though you're going for a little walk here, you're gonna flex the feet, walking on the sky. Lift one leg, then the other leg. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze your backside before you lift up, pull the navel in, lift to lower. Good, and then gently relax it all down. Wag your tail here. Come up towards your forearms into a Sphinx pose. And then from here, shift the weight right and left. So you offset the rib cage to stretch the hips and the low back. Good. Now, curl your toes under. You could interlace the hands, bring the elbows together slightly, and pull the belly in. Feel a wave come underneath the torso. Send the tailbone down towards the backs of the knees, and then release it all back down. Elbows are in directly under your shoulders. Activate through the legs, pull up the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. Push the floor away, and feel like you're pulling the elbows and the knees toward one another. So you're filling in the core, the low back. Good, one more time. You're gonna press, lift, breathe, feel like you're pulling, and then come all the way down. Gentle flutter kick with the legs. So this could be, slow-mo. I'm finding pillows here, so I'm an inch forward. Look, I'm getting taller. It's not that my house is small, I'm getting taller. So from here, you could keep your head down, lift the left leg, lift the right leg, and just go side to side, left and right. You could make it more like a flutter, like you're kicking freestyle underwater here. Strong straight legs, active through the toes. You could inhale, send the legs a little wider, and then exhale, try to bring them toward one another, and then inhale, send them out. Exhale, bring them in. Squeezing the glutes here. And then gently, one more time. Come all the way down. Let it wiggle, let it wag. Now, come up to your forearms once again. Bend the left leg, flex the foot toward you. Your heel's not gonna touch your hip. Don't force anything. Just bring it toward you, pull the belly in, try to inform the shape like you're pulling elbows and knees, and then release it back down. You can stay on the ball of the foot and then flex the other foot, heel toward hip, push the floor away, pull the belly in, pull with the arms and the legs, and then release it back down. And again, left, pull in, pull with the arms and the legs, and again, kick, pull, breathe, extend the spine. Now, you can keep doing that, or if it feels good and you're healthy in your low back, the last variation, maybe watch and then join in, is to take the palms by your side. You'll rest on your forehead. Palms are by your side, palms down, pressing into the floor, bending the legs, and then lifting the chest. So it might be enough to keep the legs straight and try to lift the chest, kissing the shoulder blades together. In the same way we were doing the squat and kind of pulling the elbows toward one another and the shoulder blades together, we're lifting into our back core here. Navel lifts. Now you might stay here, or you can bend the legs, as I said, And then maybe you lift one leg a little higher and the chest. And then the belly button and the chest and the other leg a little higher. Maybe you push down into your palms and you lift both legs a smidge off the floor. Mine are barely lifting. It's a lot of internal endurance here. And then release it all down. Wag your tail. We're opening up the back of the lungs here in a big way. So take a deep breath into the back ribs. Let your legs go side to side. And then from here, come on up. Have your block and your strap nearby. And we'll roll over onto our backs. So, oh, that feels good, doesn't it? Come onto your back. Okay. And then we're in the same shape we were just in on our belly, right? The knees are bent, the feet are on the floor. We'll use the strap in a moment. Put the strap on the side. We'll use the block or pillows if you have between the inner thighs. So most narrow between the inner thighs. So you're still able to sense that your feet are tracking in the same line as your knees and your hips. And then as you squeeze the block, arms are down by your side. Hold onto the edges of your mat. Try to pull the mat apart and lift into a bridge. Snuggle the shoulders under. Again, this is the same shape you were just in, but now it feels a lot better, I hope. And then sense the tailbone moving towards the back of the knees. And then tap your toes, left foot, left foot. Just pick up the ball of the foot. If that's not happening, it's okay. Keep squeezing the block. Now pick up the heel, left heel, right heel. Keep hugging the block. Again, if the coordination is too tricky, don't worry about it. And then come back down all the way to the floor. Ooh. Take a moment, release the arms out to the side, and then squeeze the block without lifting anything, and then relax. Squeeze the block. Notice how that changes what's going on in your low back, and then relax. And notice the release in the low back. Squeeze, release. One more. So it's an easy way to kind of rock the pelvis, inform the core connection, and support the low back here. Now, unfold the right leg out on the diagonal, right? So the knees are in the same line, and then pulse it once, twice, 3 times a lady, and then plant it back down. Thank you, Lionel Richie. And then unfold the left leg, or is that Commodores, I think, yeah. And then, so, you know, when they were together, before he was on his own. And then a little pulse, and release. So now, like you were taking a walk in this, you're gonna kick, release, give a squeeze. Kick, release, squeeze. Kick, release, squeeze. One more each side. Last one. And pause. Walk the feet out an inch or two away from you. Flex the feet. So you're gonna pick up the ball of the foot. Now this may be where you stay. Be mindful of your knees. If anything feels sharp at all or any sort of strain in the legs, don't do it. Just think about it. It's enough to visualize. Yes, bring your breath to it. Option to rest the arms by your side and then dig your heels in, right? This is how we're showing you our will. We're gonna dig our heels in and then try to squeeze the block. That may be where you stay. Heels dig in, block squeeze, and then lift the hips an inch or two off the floor. If this feels like a place to stay, keep breathing. If you want to lift the hips slightly higher, keep squeezing the daylight out of the block. This should take the pressure off your knees. Come back down. But it's perhaps new, so try it on. Then relax, pat your feet, or tap them out here. One more. If you would like to come back to more neutral, bring the feet in. Simple bridge lift, arms underneath. If you want to try it with the heels again, walk the heels out an inch or two away from your knees. Lift. You're just going to kind of bring your rudder up and then press down through the heels like you're digging your heels in. Hug the inner thighs together. Take a deep breath and then stay, driving the elbows down, or lift, puffing the chest up as if you had gills you're trying to breathe into. Widen the breath. Really dig the heels, hug the inner thighs. Feel as though you're pulling and tractioning the tailbone towards the back of the knees. And then this container that you've created, hold on to it, hug it in as you come back down. Well done. Bring the block to your belly and bring the feet in some. So you can feel the block lift as you inhale, and then drain and hug in as you exhale. So inflate and deflate. All right, the key to endurance is even, deep breathing, steadying your breath, grounding, belly breaths, deep diaphragmatic breathing, helping to calm and center you. So you pace yourself. One more breath. And then let's gently bring the block off to the side. Take a moment. Henry's gonna dismount, and then bring the strap to your right foot. So now we did all that squat work. We want to open up the hamstrings after all the curls. Simple hamstring stretch. Walk the hands up the block or your hand towel, and then bend and straighten a few times till you find the sweet spot for yourself. Engage the quadricep, that's the front of the thigh, so you lift the teardrop of the kneecap there. And if it feels good, stay. If you want to explore deepening this option, you can extend the left leg. And then feel the weight of the legs soaking down into the hips, into the low back. Take another inhale, long, slow, clearing exhale, melt the shoulders down the back. And then draw the knee in. And let's try the other side. So left leg, unfold it, extend, nice and high. It's a kick. Oh, good, Henry's back. Again, bend and straighten until you find a point where your tailbone is not curling under. There's no stress on your low back. So maybe, more of a 45-degree angle, it all works. Arms are straight, shoulders are dropping back and down. And take a few deep belly breaths in to fill up and out to release the low back. Again, you want to engage the front of the leg and lift the teardrop of the kneecap there to help open up the hamstring. And then gently extend the opposite leg if you wanted to try that one on. Weight of the left leg soaking down into the hip. Soothing and restoring the low back from the standing work. Now bring the foot back in, plant your left leg down, roll to your side for a moment, press your hand into the ground to come on up. Let's take a butterfly shape before we come to stand. Again, if you feel tucked under in a seated pose, it's helpful to prop up on a pillow or the block so that your hips are higher than your knees, and then gravity can do the work and you don't have to work so hard. So here's another place where we can release the glutes, the hips. Feel your backside grounding down and the spine nice and long. Take another inhale and exhale, and then slowly bring yourself back up. Roll the shoulders. Bring the legs together using your hands to support this, and then come to hands and knees again. If there's any last bit of squirming your body may be asking for, rounding the spine, shrugging it off. Yeah, tail wag. Sitting hips towards heels. That's all of that work we were doing, curling the heel to the hips. And then as you're ready, we'll step into the lunge to bring ourselves back up. Use the chair if you need, use the wall if you need. And then from the lunge, step 2 feet together, stand tall. Inhale, walk it back out. Let's just take a wide stance and we can feel the full circle of the practice. Reach up, weight shift, other side, pushing off. Notice how connected you feel to your center. Let's take the arms out to the side and then reach. That massage, the unfolding, kind of peeling from hip to hip, treading through the feet. And then reach both arms up and back down. Cross the right arm over the center, give yourself a big hug. And then open it up, lift the chest, and then left arm, cross it over. Last one, inhale, exhale. Thank you. I'm Suzy. I hope you have a